How's it going, everyone? Liam Catterson here as we venture into another episode for The Mandalorian. This is episode number 3, titled The Sin. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to get into this. We've had a very, very impressive couple of episodes already, with the first one not just being a great episode in general, but I thought it was a very decent way to create the initial layers for characters like Mando. And the second episode was very, very adventurous, very fun stuff. Mando getting himself in all kinds of trouble, especially with the Jawas who salvaged his ship, and the only way he could get his parts back was to fight off a rhino, get the egg, so they could basically delve into the nutritional contents within the egg. So it was a bizarre motivation, but then again, the Jawas, mischief is one of the known traits of the Jawas, so it was very, very good stuff. So something I didn't comment on in the review because I'm an idiot and I forgot, was something that I really loved within the episode, and that was the cinematic parallels of Mando on the verge of passing out, with him actually passing out from the Jawa stunning him, to him looking absolutely vulnerable after the rhino knocked every inch of his life out of him. So just before Baby Yoda used the Force to stop the rhino from basically killing him. So I really loved that little bit of detail, and I thought that was a very, very very impressive touch to this episode. So one of the pros of the last episode. But I'm pretty excited to see how this episode does proceed. So with that said, let's get into episode number 3 of The Mandalorian. I'm really excited because, like I said, so far the show has been acing it. So let's get into episode 3.
Wonderful news. Upon your return, deliver the quarry directly to the client. I have no idea if he wants to eat it or hang it on his wall, but he's very antsy.
He's not doing anything to the child.
You know where to find me.
You know,
It's not a toy.
Let the child have the toy. You still have a chance to take... No! Don't go in! You still have a chance to bolt it with it, Mando.
Easy with that.
You take it easy.
Shut up! That's a motherload of, Beskar steel.
Such a large bounty for such a small package.
We need... No! Rescue the child! We don't want these Imperial bitches... No! Come back!
Is it not the code of the Guild that these events are now forgotten?
Yeah, you might be curious.
That Beskar is enough to make a handsome replacement for your armor. Unfortunately, finding a Mandalorian in these trying times is more difficult than finding the steel.
Oh! Look at his hat. It's like a mushroom hat. Ooh, Twi'lek.
It's our strength.
Our strength was once in our numbers. Now we live in the shadows and only come above ground one at a time.
Kind of living like Jedis.
By the Empire, with whom this tower shares tables.
Oh! Come on, Mando!
It wasn't a noble kill. I was helped by an enemy.
Why would an enemy help you in battle?
It did not know it was my enemy.
Should always be. The foundlings are the future. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
It's the way.
It's great learning more, regarding Mandalorian culture as well. Oh shit, more flashbacks. Oh, whoa, 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 was that a CIS ship? Of course, the Imperials were like the Republic. Like that shot as well. Oh! Buddy, you look impressive. It's just a sour taste regarding the kiddo.
To my most valuable partner.
I want my next job.
I'm sure, like...
Next job.
I'm sure he would, like,
Take some
want that to
time
go
off.
to Mandalorians.
Enjoy yourself. I'll take you to the Twilight healing baths.
I
Oh.
want my next job.
Doesn't wait around.
Right. With what?
The kid.
I didn't ask. It's against
Oh,
the
man,
guild
our
code.
Mando has
They work for
conflict.
the Empire. What are they doing here?
The Empire is gone, Mando.
The
All that
remnants
left
remain.
are mercenaries and warlords, but if it bothers you,
He's having conflict. Yeah! Let's go! Let's do this! We are not leaving that child with those Imperial bitches!
They explicitly ordered us to bring it back alive.
Finish your business quickly, as I no longer can guarantee your safety.
Ooh. So he's like not giving a toss if it dies.
check the perimeter.
Oh, it's a bad day to be you guys. Brilliant. Wow, that was so brutal. Oh, hey, you did this!
No, please! Please! No!
What are you doing?
No, please don't hurt him. It's just a child. Please, no! Please!
Oh, wow. Oh, shit, me! Oh. Mando just destroying stormtroopers is my paradise.
Turn and face me.
The whistling birds! I mean, he did say he liked the odds of being 4-1.
You put the bounty down, and perhaps I'll let you pass.
The kid's coming with me.
If you truly care about the
My
kid,
dad!
then you put it
Yes!
on the speeder, and we'll discuss terms.
Piss off!
How do I know I can trust you?
Because I'm your only hope.
He's gonna take his chances! I mean, bounty hunters are a different thing than stormtroopers, but he's... Oh, Lord. He's going back at it again with the disintegration! I love him!
Stop us, we kill you, and we strip your body for parts.
Oh, screw you, buddy. Mando is besting these guys. Mando. Oh. Oh. Buddies! Yes, this is the way! Holy shit!
Get out of here. We'll hold them off.
You're going to have to relocate the covert.
Brilliant!
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. Oh man. Oh, buddy! Beskar protected him, of course. I'm sure that's not going to bite us on a later date. Our Mandalorians.
I gotta get one of those.
Wow. Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. It was wonderful as well because, like, stormtroopers are one thing. A pack of like Mandalorians, like not a pack of Mandalorians, a pack of bounty hunters are a completely different thing. And whilst he did a very, very good job at holding his own initially, you saw it right there. Like he was limited, wasn't he? And then his Mandalorian buddies came and helped out. I really loved that though, and the context behind them wanting to help him out was like with the fact that he serves the code just like all of you do. Yes, he's bartered with those working in the Imperials, but he's still one of our own. Yeah, it was great to have that bit of development there. Yeah, it was I really loved this episode. I know, like, I do have a habit of this by, like, okay, 3 episodes in, you know, a certain episode might be my favorite episode. Like, this was so far of the 3. Just with a lot of tension that was going on, especially when Mando went to retrieve the kid back, and you had some excellent battles against stormtroopers, especially the 4-on-1 battle, which is a nice little... I think it's a nice little callback to when he was outnumbered 4-1, and he was like, I like those odds, and the odds were definitely in his favour there with the whistling bird, I think it was, that was crafted onto his suit. So yeah. And then, of course, we had that tension with the bounty hunters, because like I said, stormtroopers are one thing. Bounty hunters are really, really ruthless. And the thing was, I think there were more bounty hunters there than there were stormtroopers in the place. So, yeah, that was just adding insult to injury. But like I said, our Mando squad... Oh man, I love this show so much at the minute, and not just that though, but further development of Mando's character as well, which is really, really brilliant. Where he couldn't leave the child behind. He was having conflict about, is this the right thing to do? He was questioning what are they going to do. And I think there's something that he sees in the child that he can relay back to what happened when he was younger, when the Confederacy attacked Mandalore. It seems potentially, because I'm assuming this is like when he was hidden in that canister before the super battle droid. This was in the midst of the Clone Wars, and Mandalore would be a bit of a hotspot there. So yeah, but I'll get on more about that comparison in a moment. But that was a very very impressive episode. I just loved that. As I said, though, that episode for Mandalorian was my favorite so far. It was so... I loved how there were quite a lot of things that went on, in terms of the flashbacks and clearing some things up. The tension in the second half of the episode when Mando went to get back the child, as well as developing on Mandalorian culture. I thought this was a nicely balanced episode for both action to make things as intense as possible, for character growth, as well as exploring Mando's life, basically, from present to past as well. Like, we're getting more bits about his past. And yeah, it was as well as a development in his suit as well, because now he's got a new suit. Like, there was a ton of Beskar steel, like we saw in the first episode. One Beskar bar was enough to get him that shoulder pad. So like a ton of Beskar steel was obviously going to give him the full armor. But yeah, I thought this was a really great episode. This is my favorite so far. Of course, like I said, it could change. We're only in episode 3 out of 8. But I thought there was a lot of factors that went on in this episode that was really great stuff that I absolutely thrived at. And the action sequences were just absolutely mesmerizing. Of course, we had Chekhov's bird, I think it is, because it's usually Chekhov's gun, but but with the whistling bird, that was setting up for what would happen when Mando encountered those 4 stormtroopers. But it was still pretty good stuff as well. Like, we saw Mando just going guns blazing at random stormtroopers that appeared within his vicinity, and then he gets cornered, so he does something incredible, and that was a really good showing. But also just seeing some of the brutality that he performed on some of the stormtroopers, it was just eye-catching, and I loved it. But yeah, with his encounter with the bounty hunters, it was pretty impressive, especially with how he was able to disintegrate a couple of people, he held pretty much his own until he basically became cornered, until the other Mandalorians did show up and took it from there. But he still did a pretty impressive job, considering that there was an army of bounty hunters against him. And I think that goes to show how valued and how amazing Mando is. Like, he is a very talented character, and there's a reason why he's one of the best. So I think he showed it in this episode. So that was very impressive stuff. Cinematography was really great stuff again in this episode, with the flashbacks with Mando as a child fading to him now. So that was pretty good stuff. So yeah, let's have a little talk about the flashbacks, because in this episode, I think it was made pretty clear that the Great Purge wasn't a result of the Clone Wars. It was a result of the Empire. 2 different time periods, of course, and yeah, it was really brilliant to see CIS ships involved in the Mandalorian. We haven't seen a live action depiction of them, I believe, since Revenge of the Sith. Of course, they show up in Clone Wars, but we're talking live action, and they still look really, really impressive. But yeah, we saw CIS ships, we saw super battle droids. I don't think we saw any of the regular battle droids, but we did see a couple of super battle droids. One encountering a young Mandalorian, a young Mando, should I say, when he opened the crate. I'm assuming his parents got shot down like moments after, moments before, as they hid their child. I'm assuming his parents got executed as soon as they hit him. But the question is, who managed to save Mando from the super battle droid? Which makes me believe maybe a Mandalorian did, and that might have inspired his path to becoming who he is today. So yeah, because there seems to be two great mystiques going on at the minute. It's what we're seeing with the flashbacks and the Great Purge, which happened by the time of the Empire, which is funny because I think Mandalore was occupied by the Empire by this time, so it would be very, very interesting to find out more bits and pieces regarding the Great Purge, but it does seem to indicate that the flashbacks and the Great Purge are two separate events, so I'm glad that was kind of cleared things up, as the other Mandalorians were basically belittling Mando about the fact that you're working for the Empire, you're doing dealings with them, you're basically in bed with them. But the person who did the armor said that they are still that Mando's still doing good, and that the Beskar is because another thing that keeps getting mentioned is the foundlings, of course, and Mando is helping them out as well. So, he's still doing some good. He's not exactly betraying his roots, which is a really, really good thing. But it was great to see the devotion and the whole "this is the way" mantra that the Mandalorians live by, not removing their helmets. So yeah. But it was a pretty thrilling episode. It was just great to see how talented Mando was. And yeah, I do wish if anything, I do wish this episode got to see the client who worked with the Imperial. I wish we got to see him executed, because of course the medic guy was close, but he was worried, and he seemed to have a bit of a good heart about him compared to the client, because the client has absolutely no mercy whatsoever. He has no empathy. The medic guy was like, he should be kept alive, but the clients do whatever it takes to extract something from him. He might not survive the extraction, but the client doesn't give a toss, to be fair. But it seems like the medic guy has a different agenda to the client, so it's kind of nice to see that. But it's also great to see how dedicated Mando is. He was told to take a bit of time off, but he wants to do his job. He wants to help out. But yeah, this was pretty good stuff. I also got to say, so Mando going after the child, I think there are remnants of him as a child he sees in Baby Yoda. What I really like about Mando is he's not a complete badass who doesn't have he has morals. He has that compassionate side to him, and I really like that moment where he froze and contemplated about taking off, and then eventually decided, no, I'm going after the child. I think he does see something in the child that reminds him so much of what happened when especially with the comparisons to the Confederacy and the Empire, because the Confederacy, evil people; Empire, evil people. And the child is none the wiser at the end of the day. It's still an innocent life, and was all alone. So, and if Mando's parents did get annihilated in the flashbacks, he can kind of sympathize with the child about being all alone. So that's why I'm thinking a Mandalorian helped Mando out when he was a kid and took him under their wing. Because it'll parallel to what Mando's doing to Baby Yoda. He's still going to have that stiff exterior and that attitude, but I feel like there's a parallel going on there. So, because they're doing quite a few parallels already. I mean, I know it's a bit of a stretch to say that, but I can see them going that route in terms of, okay, Mando sees himself in Baby Yoda. So, yeah, but it was a pretty impressive episode. I just loved how well formulated this episode became in terms of the lore, the development, as well as the action. I thought it was brilliantly paced. So yeah, this was a pretty impressive episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!